Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it happens. It really does happen. So, excuse me, I'm looking at I'm looking at my phone for notes because I haven't wrote a bunch of notes. So, let me ask you this: you started a podcast during the quarantine as well.
When you start drinking, it's steady decline. The funnels of vodka ain't helping. You've got good friends to keep you out of trouble. The best ones are still drinking with you. And there's no good reason why. Good ones go home. There's no one to stop you, to keep you from doing something stupid. And once you hit the limit of judgment, you're bound to regret it. And there's no good reason why.
Hey, hold on. I'm so sorry. I'm not recording. Fucking son of a bitch.
It's all good.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
So hi, how you doing?
What up, man?
Let's do it all over again. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you're good. It's all good.
Oh my God, I'm so fucking embarrassed.
Hey, dude, it's all good, man.
No, it's not good. I'm pissed, bro. I'm fucking pissed. That was good content. So let's just fucking get into it, bro. Can you just say that part again? I am so sorry.
Oh no, dude.
So you started a podcast.
Yeah.
And it's called ESM Sports. And how did that come up? Sorry.
So I had the idea in like 2020, because I moved out, and then I got a girlfriend at the same time that I moved out, so I had my plate full. And once that dust settled, I mean, around that time too, we would just like bullshit with Mike and Sean, and that's kind of how the name came to fruition as well. ESM was Eric, Sean, Michael, and then like I said, we can either keep that or we can change it in the future. So that's just kind of like I was trying to figure out a way to like incorporate our names as well. And I had an epiphany one morning when I was doing carts, and I'm like listening to, I don't even remember what podcast it was, but they were just like bullshitting and laughing, and they weren't like talking about anything. And I'm like, dude, we can do that. Why not? Like, why can't, like, if they can do it? Yeah, granted, I think it was like probably some famous comedian or semi-famous comedian or whatever. But if you have the content, or if something goes viral or whatever the case is, you just stay consistent with it. Eventually, you know, you'll have an audience or whatever. So I was like, well, I can do that. And like, I'm listening to like different sports takes and stuff. And I'm like, dude, that's a trash ass take, but people like it, you know? So I pitched the idea to Mike and Sean, and they were down with it. And obviously we were all nervous because I have no experience with audio. I know you went to school for it. But like I had no experience at all outside of like dabbling with Final Cut Pro in like high school, but that's like 12, 13 years ago, and that's not audio. So, but pitched the idea to them. They liked it. And we were just kind of like figuring out like, how is it going to go? Like, how are we going to set it up? And I said, let's just get our mics, get our equipment set up, and then record it, and then see where it goes. And we kind of had like an outline set up. And I think the first couple episodes, we kind of just winged it. But after a while, we had an outline. So it wasn't like, oh, follow this outline specifically. They were more like just like key points to talk about. And after a while, we kind of developed a thing. And currently right now, it's just Mike and I. Shout out Mike, the other half of the podcast, by the way, if you're listening, or if you end up listening. I actually told him about the podcast, and he had no idea your podcast. He's like, no way, JJ, for real? I'm like, yeah. He has like Bashi and Eric and like other people, and like you're pretty reserved at work, so like to hear the podcast, you kind of see another light of you, which is kind of cool, honestly.
Right. Thanks.
Yeah, no, it's and I'm like because you know, some people like to keep their private life separate from work, and I don't know if that's how you are, but you're pretty reserved at work for the most part. And I mean, I respect that. Like, some people have like their work life mixed in with their regular life, and it's like whatever drama's going on at home, they bring it to work, and it's like not healthy. But anyways, I'm like, yeah, and it's been a hell of a ride, man. It hasn't even been a year yet. We're creeping up on we started, well, I put a sample episode, like stay tuned, in the end of April. Sorry, my dog.
It's okay.
And the first official episode was in May. So we're not even like, we're 4 or 5 months away from um a year. And I mean, I've had a blast doing it. Like it's like a creative outlet. I'm sure you can relate to that because you have your own podcast. So it's been a great ride, and we just started posting stuff on YouTube. So kind of see how that goes. It's been exciting though. I love it, man.
No, so you guys, I like that too, that you guys have this podcast, because I was telling you at work one day, excuse me, that you guys always have content. You guys
Mhm.
always have, like with my podcast, it's cool, but I don't know how, I mean, I know I can do it for a good while, but like right now, the beginning stages of it, like I don't know which episodes you've heard. Like you're saying that you're hearing the different side of me. There's a
Mhm.
lot of embarrassing things that we talk about. Like this last one I did one with a friend I haven't talked to in 12 years.
Mhm.
And he's bringing up all these old stories where I used to be a fucking idiot, man, and it's just embarrassing. But I'm just, it is what it is. I'm just trying to keep this going, and I'm learning a lot as we're going. Learning a lot. I'm sure you are too. You're learning
Yeah.
how it goes and how to distribute and how to record. And I mainly went to school for video, not
Yeah.
audio. So audio is really, really hard for me. It's really hard for
Yeah.
me to. I'm still learning that, but video is more. I kind of have an idea with video. I just don't have the money to buy all the good equipment.
Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah. But so let me ask you this. What the hell happened with Dallas? Everyone at work is talking about the
Bro.
Cowboys. What happened? I don't know shit.
So it's crazy because I was just talking to Albert about it, because he's like one of the bigger Dallas fans at work.
Albert? Oh,
Uh,
the entire center.
Escobar, yeah. He's like a huge Dallas fan. Like if you look at their stats this year, they were almost number one in all their stats. So basically, without like having to rant forever, this
Okay.
Cowboy team in the regular season was the best team they've had in a long time. They were like number one or number two, or pretty much top three in all the rankings for the Cowboys.
But usually any other season they're trash.
Uh, they're they kind of remind me of the Chargers, but in the NFC, where they're usually pretty stacked on either the offense or defensive side, but they just find ways to lose.
Mm.
Hence this game where it seemed like they went toe to toe with Tampa at the beginning of the season. They ended up losing that game, but after that you're like, oh damn, they're the real deal. Like Dak's playing well. Their running game was doing well. Their defense was kind of and then at the end of the year, their defense was solid, and then the offense was kind of struggling, where they had no run game at all.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird because like their running backs are pretty solid, or at least they were at the beginning of the season. So I don't know if they had like injuries or whatever. But I don't know, man. Dak didn't show up until like the fourth quarter, and that final drive, Dak gave it to the center instead of giving it to the ref. So the ref has to touch the ball before they can hike the ball. And the clock was running. They had no timeouts. I think there was like 5 seconds left. Dak ran down the middle, slid instead of trying to go out. He could have slid earlier, gave the ball to the ref, did it, and then spiked the ball, and they would have had at least one shot to the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
They probably would have still lost, but I mean, it gives you a chance. And if they score a touchdown, they would have tied the game, and they kicked the field goal, they would have won. So he gave it to the center instead of giving it to the ref, and it kind of fucked him in the end.
So how much did they lose by?
They lost by 7.
Mm.
So essentially, if they would have scored and did the field goal with the extra point, they would have won the game. So they were definitely within striking distance. I was talking to Mike about it in the podcast last week, that it was going to be a defensive battle. But in the end, it seemed like San Francisco's defense was the better defense that game. And Kyle Shanahan is the head coach for the 49ers. He just outcoached him, man. Mike McCarthy was the coach for the Packers for the longest time. And that was always the Packers thing. They were phenomenal during the regular season. Aaron Rodgers, MVP caliber all the time. And once it came down to the playoffs, they just found a way to lose. And I mean, at this point, is it Mike McCarthy? Because he's the coach for the Dallas Cowboys this year. Phenomenal during the regular season. And when it came playoff time, they just didn't show up. He got outcoached.
Got it. Jeez.
So, yeah, I don't know. I was talking to Albert. I was like, do you guys fire Mike McCarthy? And then I was telling him, like, I mean, does Bill Belichick try to leave the Patriots? Because, like, it's pretty obvious that Tom Brady was pretty pivotal to his success. So he kind of has to, I don't catch him for the type to care about that kind of stuff, but like egotistically, like he has, like, I feel like he wants to go possibly somewhere else maybe and prove that he still is the tactical genius and it wasn't just Tom Brady. But I mean, Tom Brady has a Super Bowl outside of the Patriots and he doesn't. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, that might be it. Might just be Tom Brady.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, Bill Belichick is one of the greater coaches we've had in recent years, but like it might be time to, you know, change the scenery. They fire Mike McCarthy. That's a destination for any coach. Dak Prescott's a phenomenal quarterback, great guy outside of the field or outside of football. It's a good destination for like free agents and stuff too. So, I mean, I'm not a big fan of the Cowboys just because like growing up in the 90s, my uncles were all the Cowboys or 49er fans. And just because like they were just good, you know, they weren't really football fans. They were just like, oh, I'm going to bet for them because they're good or whatever. So like growing up watching them and like them always beating the Chargers. So like I have a like low key vendetta on the 49ers because the only Super Bowl we got absolutely destroyed. So
wait, your uncles and cousins were 49ers fans and they live here, San Diego?
Yeah, it was more so like they're kind of like the bandwagon type people where they just kind of
get shit everywhere they got because San Diego is a huge Chargers. Like I see Chargers fans. I mean, back when they were here,
yeah.
You'd go to the mall on Sunday and you'd fucking see everyone in a fucking jersey.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you one thing. They weren't 49er fans during the transitional years of like Colin Kaepernick and those years where they were like absolutely trash. After that Super Bowl with Colin Kaepernick, they just kind of fell off for a couple of years. So I didn't hear a peep from them.
That's interesting. I mean, I guess it makes sense. There's got to be other fans out here, but I swear for years it felt like San Diego was just all about the Chargers. Like everyone, I see people in jerseys, Charger jerseys all the time.
Yeah, it was
not anymore.
Yeah, it was tough when they left, and obviously people the way I look at it is if you live in San Diego and you're not a Charger fan anymore, one, I mean, you're probably salty, which I was initially. And two, you weren't a Charger fan, you were a San Diego fan, which is, you know, understandable. Like those are the same people that if the Padres left San Diego, they probably wouldn't go for the Padres anymore.
That's a good point.
Because yeah, they're just San Diego fans, which respectfully so, they live here. Don't get me wrong, like if San Diego, I'm a Laker fan as well, but if San Diego got a basketball team, I'd probably, you know, go to the games and stuff, but I'd most likely still be a Laker fan. But I would, you know, like cheer for, it's, you know, local, I'd go for them. Like it's just, you know, the local team, like the Padres are the local team. I in no means am a Dodger fan, just FYI, even though my other teams are LA by default, because there's no SoCal or San Diego basketball team. The Chargers moved to LA. I go for the Padres, not the Dodgers, just so you know.
Okay, yeah, I was going to ask you that.
Making that
What do
clear.
you what do you go for when it comes to baseball? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, making it clear. But I mean, I get everyone's frustrations with the Chargers leaving. I initially was thinking about not going for them that whole summer. I was kind of figuring it out, like, is it okay for me to leave? And a lot of people said, dude, they left. Like, if you go for another team, this is the only time when you actually have a chance to move to another team and not considered a bandwagoner or like a trader or something. So
Mhm.
like, I have uncles and cousins that are Raider fans. They're like, dude, come to the dark side, man. Come to the dark side. And like, oh my, no. Like, no matter what, like, I still have that, like, I despise
Well,
the
yeah,
Raiders still.
weren't they they were the rivals of the Chargers.
Yeah.
So why would you go to why would you go to the rival?
Hey, man, there's some people that did, dude. They went,
Really?
yeah,
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
they went
Wow.
Anakin Skywalker, bro. Like,
That's like yeah, that's crazy. I can't
they're like,
there's
yeah,
no sense in that to me.
true
That's
story, man.
crazy.
I kind of bounced back and forth between the Buffalo Bills. At the time, they weren't doing, I mean, they're hot right now. They're like probably one of the better teams, if not like top 3 in the NFL right now. I was bouncing between them. They had just drafted Josh Allen that year. They didn't do too well because their franchise is like always known as like not great or like crappy. So I'm like, you know what? Like, it's kind of like Charger-esque. And then I can also say that I was with them when they were trash and blah, blah, blah. I was just trying to find a way. Like, I wasn't going to go, you know what? Fuck it, dude. I'm going to be a Patriot fan or
Right.
wherever Tom Brady ends up going. Because that's just like straight up bandwagon stuff.
Mhm.
Even though I did consider Green Bay Packers, I know Mike gives me shit because they're in the same division as the Lions for it. And every time I mention it, I'm pretty sure he throws up in his mouth a little bit. But it's the same team, man. It's just 2 or 3 hours up the freeway. They still do the I went to SoFi for the Giants game this year,
Mhm.
and the Chiefs game the following Thursday, because my friend was like, one of them, my girlfriend took me, and then my friend was like, dude, you want to go to the Thursday night game? My dad can't go. All you have to pay is whatever. And I'm like, I'm in. I'm so down. So I got to see the SoFi Stadium. Absolutely phenomenal. It just sucks that it's like you're driving up there and it's in Inglewood and it's pretty ghetto. Like,
Oh, really?
it's kind of run down.
It's in the hood.
Yeah. And
I
then
didn't
all
know
of a
that.
sudden you just see like, boom, just $1 billion palace. It's like, I hope they kind of use some of that revenue to better the community and help them out a little bit because it's pretty bad.
Isn't Staples the same way?
Yeah.
Isn't like
But
that in the hood too?
yeah, it's downtown LA, especially right now, man. I think the pandemic kind of made every downtown area in California more or worse than it already was, because like Skid Row is pretty bad. It used to
Mhm.
be like a couple blocks, but now it goes all the way down to like Venice Beach. It stretches like 5 blocks, both north and south, and all the way to Venice. It's
Mhm.
pretty crazy, man. Like, I refuse to go downtown Los Angeles now just because it's really bad. I haven't been to San Francisco since the pandemic, but I've heard it's pretty bad as well.
Here it's pretty bad too. I mean, not as bad as there, but
Yeah.
there's this place I used to go to downtown, and it's completely just overnight just changed. It's completely just it's a lot of homeless. I was walking down this restaurant we go to. It's on Fifth Avenue,
Hmm.
and we're walking down, and there's this guy. We took my wife to look over. There's this guy just like squatting, just taking a shit right there in the middle of the fucking sidewalk. I'm like, oh, fucking, what the hell, dude? Like, didn't give a fuck.
Yeah. I got a question for you. I'll flip the script on you a little bit.
Yeah.
How do we deal with that? Like, if you like say all of a sudden they just vote you the mayor of San Diego, or just in general, like how do we deal with that? Or is there a way?
If you're gonna ask me, honestly, I'm not the expert. I am not
Yeah.
smart at all. I'm not college educated, but I don't think you need to be college educated to solve solve certain problems.
Yeah.
This is not a little problem, but
No.
I know firsthand from my situation. Do you know any homeless? Have you ever met any homeless people? Like, do
I've
you know any
talked to
people?
them on the street, but like personally, no.
But like, I know people who are like you and me, who
Hmm.
were like you and me, and
Hmm.
decided to become homeless.
Hmm.
And their logic is, well, at least these people that I spoke to, maybe not everybody,
Hmm.
is they don't want to be part of the system anymore. They don't want to have to be paying rent, this thousands of dollars of rent. They don't want to be part of the system anymore. They would
Yeah.
rather just live off the grid, not have to deal with it, just
Yeah.
panhandle all day. There's one guy I knew. So when we talked about this earlier before it got cut, before I
Yeah.
didn't record it. Moved to San Diego. I've been living in the same apartment for the last 12 years.
Hmm.
Right on the corner was this bar for many years. It was called the Rook. And I was single. I knew nobody. It was my late 20s.
Hmm.
I'd go there and like just on a weeknight, I'd go there all the time, just like spend like fucking $50 a night just drinking beers.
Yeah.
And I got to know the people there. There were guys who were just like me, who would just go there. There's one old guy who was retired. He'd go there all the time and just every day he'd go there. Like at 5 p.m. he'd go there, drink until 10, take a taxi home, and that was his night. Every night. He was retired. He lived alone. That's what he did.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of people like that. One guy I met, his name was Louis. This big guy, clean, always had clean cut hair, nice guy. He would only drink water. And I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, I didn't ask him point blank, but I would ask people like whenever he'd leave or whatever, like, why is he coming to a bar to drink water? Turns out he's homeless. And he would go there and we would all talk to him normal. Once I got to know him, I found out his story. He was ex-military. He grew up in New York, came out here, has kids that live somewhere. They're adults. And he would go to this place all the time that would cut his hair for free.
Yeah.
Like he knew how to do he had a routine that he just, and I would tell him like, why don't you want to get a job? It's just not for me, man. It's just not for him. So I don't know. These people that I talk to, they seem to want to be homeless. There was another kid who he was my age. He decided to just be homeless. And he just one day went to the shelter. He's like, I'm just gonna go to the shelter downtown. I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah.
I was like, what? I didn't, and he was like a smart guy. He knew computer programming. He just did not want to be part of it.
Hmm.
Okay. And so I don't know, maybe some of these people, like the guy who was shitting in the street, maybe he has mental problems. Maybe he needs mental help. Maybe he needs drugs, prescription drugs, something that'll help him stable his mind. I don't know. But I think one of the problems is, in my opinion, the high cost of living here in California.
Oh, for sure.
Especially in the city. And all these stimulus checks they're giving out, great, awesome. But my thing is, I don't need those checks. A lot of us don't need those checks. You know what we do need is rent control. To be able to live in a place where they tell you this is the rent and it's never gonna go up.
Yeah.
And they assure you that. I think people would be more comfortable if they had that instead of stimulus checks. And that to me is why. And then look at it look at Costco. Look where we work. What are we getting? What are our raises? It doesn't match the jump in rent. It doesn't match. We get a quarter. They raise the rent $100. It doesn't make sense. It's really not. I think that's one of the main problems that are pushing these people who are already on that. Oh, I'm done. I'm done. To when my rent got raised. Oh, you got laid off. Fuck it. I'm just gonna fucking go live on the street.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I don't know. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think is the cure for this homelessness?
It's so like complicated and intertwined. Like there's people that are profiting at like the idea of making it better. It's almost like cancer research essentially, where there's more profit in research of cancer and like trying to find a cure than actually curing cancer. That it's almost similar in the sense that there's people that are making a lot of money raising money to fix the homeless issue, to where it's now it's become a business. And once that happens and you try to fix it and try to actually get people out of the streets and stuff, you're taking money out of people's pockets, and then it's like, nah, like we'll occasionally do like a street clean street whatever, or hand out clean needles for people that need them, or we'll have like barbers go out there and make the illusion that you want to fix the problem, but people are making money off of it now. So I think it's so more intertwined and complicated that at this point I don't know. And it's the side effects of capitalism. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love free market and the capability of, like, let's say for instance, me and you, we've started a podcast, and 5-6 years or 7 years down the line, let's say it takes off or whatever, and if it doesn't, it doesn't, but if it does, we literally just started recording stuff and you can make profit, start a business, become self-sufficient. So like I love that aspect of capitalism.
Right.
But then there's this where people can raise rent so ridiculously high because they want to maximize their profits, to the point where people are becoming homeless or can't afford certain areas, and the only people that can live there are rich. And it's like you have businesses like BlackRock buying up like apartment complexes and buildings and not allowing people to purchase it because they're actually a company, so they can outbid you by far. So like, let's say you're looking for a house and you have all your life savings to put down a down payment, and then this like Fortune 500 company comes and buys it up. I don't know if BlackRock's I think it's a investment company, but they have more money and more funds to buy a property. So then it's like, okay, now they're basically renting instead of people being able to own shit.
Right.
And then at that point, it's like they're controlling the market. And I don't know. It's so intertwined and complicated that like I don't know if it can get fixed. People want it to. There, the powers that be, I don't know if they want it to get fixed.
Yeah, and I think yeah, like you said, like the Susan G. Komen Foundation, like that's a crazy company. I was reading about them one time. You've heard of them?
Not really, but I think
you know that the pink you know, in October you wear the breast cancer.
Oh, the
pink,
ribbon.
You know, the pink ribbon. Yeah, it's trademark Susan G. Komen.
Oh, okay.
So it's a lady who runs
then,
this. Yeah, it's this cancer. You know, it's supposed to, like you said, it's made to this foundation was made many years ago to find the cure for breast cancer. But Susan G. Komen, or this, I don't know if it's Susan G. Komen or who the hell's running this thing. They're like a monster corporation, to where like this one lady. So it's like their slogan is for the cure. That's their slogan, for the cure. This company one day made cupcakes, and they used the slogan "Cupcakes for the Cure," and they were using their profits, some of their profits, to help combat breast cancer. Try to figure out, you know.
Yeah.
And Susan G. Komen found out they were, or the foundation. I don't know if it's this. I don't know who Susan G. Komen is. If it's someone who passed away and they named it after her, I don't know what. But this foundation ended up going to this cupcake company and suing the shit out of them for using "for the cure." They're a corporation.
I know.
And it's like, come on, dude. Look at the bottom line. They're trying to do something that you're trying to do in common. Find the cure.
Yeah.
And it's just like this whole like you're saying, like it becomes something. It becomes this monster corporation. This little company turns into a monster corporation that ends up just wanting to just make money, and they'll do anything to make money. They'll step on little people, which is very, very sad, very sad. And that's something that I think needs to be controlled in our country, because like, look at Canada. I think we should our country could take a lot from Canada when it comes to like not just how they regulate their businesses out there. It's a way more even, way more structured, way more fair, I would say, than here in the States. Medical, like you've heard of that. Everyone knows Canada has really good healthcare. And out here, it's out of control, man. Pharmacies are able to like charge you thousands of dollars for this this medication when it's like, dude, I can't, like, how am I supposed to afford this? I have cancer. I'm dying of cancer, but I need this $100,000
Yeah.
treatment. You can't. That's crazy that it's okay for them to charge you that. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
And
But
then
why is that okay?
you
And why,
hear,
like,
yeah,
yeah, it's fine. No, it's
yeah.
not fine.
Yeah, and you hear like stories about the like opium triangle thing in Florida where
Right.
you have doctors and pharmacies
In
and
cahoots.
suppliers, and like they're all intertwined where, oh, my back hurts. Oh, you fucking need Oxycontin.
Yep.
Hey, conveniently, there's a pharmacy right next door.
Mhm.
Write you the prescription. Boom. They get addicted. They're coming back. Their back doesn't hurt anymore, but they'll tell you that their back hurts. They know that. They get addicted, and it's just like a never-ending cycle. And then after a while, you can't afford it because your prescription's over. Then you have to go to the streets and do heroin, and it's just, yeah, like that kind of stuff is like the disgusting dark side of capitalism, where it's not, I mean, it's fucked up to do that to people and like see them as numbers and stuff. And like, where does your moral, like, where are the morals with these
Mhm.
people? Obviously they don't have any. And I was talking to my brother about that actually this morning, about like, once you get up to that level of um money, it's like you're not doing it anymore for, like, morality goes out the window. It's whatever the profit, like, you follow the money. And it's like, at what point does you sell your morality for profit, essentially?
Yeah, and we could talk about this all day, but who knows how we would be, how you or me would
Yeah,
be if
exactly,
we got
exactly.
$1 billion. Like,
Yeah.
if we had that in our hands, who
For sure.
knows who you would be? Because it's all about. I think it's. I don't know what it is, but I am not. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know who I would be. I might be this monster just same way. Like,
I
oh,
know.
I was talking all this shit before. Now just a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, like, I
a
would
big
like
ass
to think,
hypocrite.
yeah, I would
Right.
like to think that I would be, stick to morals and make the right decisions and stuff, but it's a whole different story
Right.
from imagining $1 million and seeing that shit right in front of your face.
Exactly. Just being able to buy whatever you wanted. That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, you sign here, dude. You never have to look at your bank account again. You don't have to worry about money ever again, and maybe even your kids if you invest properly. And
Hmm.
you're like, what? Yeah, it's a dirty game.
So maybe it's a good thing we're poor.
Yeah, it keeps us humble and
we have
grounded.
we have our morality. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe not. Who knows? Be nice to
Yeah,
have $1 million though.
I mean, hey, it would be, but then that's like, I don't know. That's a tough. That'd be a tough decision. I'm just glad I don't have to make it.
Right. So I wanted to ask you about you said with your podcast it's currently you and Sean.
It's me and Mike right now. Sean decided he couldn't do it anymore. He had some stuff going on in his personal life. So, but I've told him before that the door's always open if he wants to come back. So I don't want to burn bridges, and that hasn't affected our relationship as friends. I always try to keep that separate. Sean's a really cool guy, and I don't want to, like, hey, dude, you fucking left, blah blah blah. Like, I don't want
Hmm.
to talk to you anymore.
Hmm.
That's not how I am as a person. So I told him, like, if you want to come back, you're more than welcome to come back. Um, so, but for now, it's just Mike and I, and we've obviously become better friends through the podcast.
Hmm.
So our like rapport amongst ourselves is pretty strong right now. So I like shout out Mike, by the way, um, and Sean for the first like half of our uh lifespan. Those two are the other parts of what the machine is of ESM. So it wouldn't be where it is without them two, and myself included. So gotta
Okay.
shout them out.
Shout out to Sean and Mike.
I dig it. I dig it. It's nice to, I mean, obviously it would be cool to like have somebody that had, like, Mike is obviously he was a Charger fan and he still roots for him, but his heart and soul is with Detroit and like Michigan sports. So um he likes Justin Herbert and the Chargers. Like if the Lions aren't in the playoffs, he obviously watches and roots for the Chargers. But if it's like between Detroit and the Chargers, I think sure. So if it's in LA, you bet your ass we're going to that game for sure. And we might not talk to each other for the entire length of the game, but hey,
Right.
after that we're back to being buddies.
That's crazy. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, you guys are all just getting. I mean, how would that be? Someone scores, and you're just like you're standing up, and he's not.
Oh, I'm a cheer like I cheered. Because what's his name? Victor, right? I think his last name is Guzman. He worked in liquor for a little bit in the mornings.
Yeah,
Dominican.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Giants fan, and he went to that Giants game that I went to. And I was a little inebriated, so we ended up not being able to link up. So, but he went to the game, and had we had sat in the same area and stuff or whatever, like I wouldn't. We ended up beating the Giants pretty bad. I wouldn't rub it in his face or anything like, oh, dude,
But is he the type to get really mad?
Nah, he's pretty mellow and chill. Like he knows, like I know, the Chargers are the Chargers, so they find ways to lose, and he knows like the Giants are the Giants, and they have their own issues and stuff. So like he's a realist fan, and then there's people that are delusional where it's like, oh, like whatever, and then they get mad, and it's like people are fighting. Like the Chiefs and Chargers game, we lost. We ended up losing in overtime, and like we're leaving, and people are fighting. It's like, bro, it's not that serious, man.
Yeah.
These are more multi-billion-dollar or million-dollar franchises, and like you really think they give a shit about you fighting and all that stuff? You're literally fighting for them for no reason.
Right. So
they just want your money.
As someone who I'm not into sports.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that I respect about you, because I was hoping that you were one of those guys, because I see that all the time. Well, like when they're flipping cars and shit outside.
Yeah,
it's like, God damn, bro.
Yeah,
they don't give a fuck about you.
Mm-hmm.
They're a corporation. They don't give a fuck. Like when people were mad about the Chargers, like they don't give a fuck. They're just trying to make money. So let them do what they got to do, and do what you got to do.
I get upset like if they lose and stuff, but like I'm not like the type to like, oh fuck it, like fight like those guys were fighting. Now if they win the Super Bowl and there's like people out about getting rowdy and stuff, I mean,
you'll join in.
I'm not gonna like burn cars and shit, but I'm gonna be hooting and hollering for sure.
Right.
Like there was people when the Padres made it to like the one standoff game 2020 for the playoffs or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they ended up winning one of them, and it was I didn't see it personally, but I had friends that were downtown because like they're a lot bigger Padre fans than me, and they were out like, dude, they were celebrating like it was the fucking World Series. It was lit out downtown.
I vaguely remember that. Who were they playing? Dodgers?
I want to say it was like, well, we ended up playing the Dodgers this year.
I remember there was maybe I'm wrong. I remember there was a game where they beat the Dodgers. Maybe it
might have been in Arizona or something where we ended up. I don't remember exactly, but it was like a 1-1. Like if you win, you're in. If you're out, or if you lose, you're out. And they ended up going. We ended up losing the next game, so it wasn't like that big of a deal or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But for that moment, the Padres had like Padres are another franchise in San Diego. Big surprise that have very little success, at times very talented, and once they get to the big game, they end up playing teams that are just that Yankees team in the 90s that the Padres faced. Even though the Padres had a very good team, phenomenal. Like it was just like one of those powerhouse Yankee teams that everyone hated. And same thing with the Chargers. It was a powerhouse 49ers team that Steve Young, Jerry Rice, like those are some Hall of Fame names. Good luck. I mean, we had Junior Seau and like Rodney Harrison and stuff, but I mean, Steve Young, Jerry Rice, those are top 10 in the category. So if not top 5 in some for Jerry Rice anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Long story short, it sucks to be a San Diego sports fan, I guess.
Yeah. Wasn't there at one point one of the basketball teams was part of San Diego?
There's been two. Early on, the Houston Rockets were in San Diego for a little bit, and then the Clippers as well. I think the Clippers left in the 80s, and I think the Rockets were in the 70s or 60s. Don't quote me, but it was more longer than the Clippers were here, and they went to LA, and now like they're like the second team of LA, and that's kind of how everyone pictures the Chargers to be.
Right, I don't get that. Then why do San Diego teams keep leaving like that? Like, why can't we just have a team?
I mean, I have theories on it, and other people do too. It's like this is like a transplant city. People come here to retire, or a lot of people that come here to retire just because they have the money and they can afford it, because it's pretty expensive here if you don't live here. So they bring their teams with you. So like there's a lot of Steeler fans here, and I mean, there's bandwagoners too, but people that move from other parts of the country here because of the weather. And it's literally because it's the weather and stuff, and like they don't want to go for the Chargers. So I mean, granted, the Chargers owner is a scum, and like he wanted the city of San Diego to pay for the stadium, and most of all other owners end up paying for the stadium, or at least a very big amount, probably the majority of it. But he wanted to pay nothing. He felt like the city owed him, essentially.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's what happened.
So, so they originally, the plan was to tear down Qualcomm, build a stadium. That didn't come through because they had the city of San Diego, and they said, fuck that. So then the initial one after that was to build it in downtown next to Petco, and it'd be called Chargers Park. And instead of trying to get like a major conglomerate corporation to like, so it's called like, how it's called Petco Park, like maybe call it like Costco Park or Kirkland Park or whatever, something like that. Dean Spanos didn't want that. He wanted the city to pay for it. And they had a big plan set up. They wanted to do like a tourist tax with the hotels, and they kind of similar plan to what the Padres did with their stadium. The issue with a lot of people in downtown was increased traffic, obviously, because like during the games for Petco, it's fucked down there. And the Padres said that they were going to help with the homeless problem, and all they did was just shove them in East Village. So what the Padres or the Chargers plan was going to do the same thing, but they would probably just send them to like Barrio Logan or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like they said they would do it, but they never did, and it's like made it worse. Don't get me wrong, the Petco Park is phenomenal. It's probably one of the better.
I heard it's rated one of the greatest. I mean, I think one of the top 5 greatest stadiums in all the United States.
And then like people come from all around the country to see it, and now the Padres are pretty talented on with Fernando Tatis, Machado, and some other young prospects and stuff. So the sky's the limit for them, but they just got to get more, like they got to get more depth in pitching. I think they fired their coach and they're looking for another one, if I remember correctly. But so like now it's like people are going to the games, not just to go to Petco, but to actually see them play, and they're winning games. It just sucks because like the rest of the division is phenomenal. Like the Dodgers, the Giants, even Arizona is starting to get pretty good. And like, I don't know what it is, the San Diego curse. We always end up getting, like when we start getting good, the rest of the division is starting to get good. Like the Chargers, same thing. Like they have Pat Mahomes with the Chiefs, and the Raiders are, as much as I hate to say it, they're fairly talented on both sides of the ball, and maybe they just need a better coach and top 5 quarterback or something. And I think the Broncos are one quarterback away from being a contender too. Their defense is solid. Offensively, they have a lot of guys too. So it's just I have no idea. Is it cursed? Are we cursed? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels that way because I mean, I'm not like I'm telling you, like I heard that when I moved here that we had a basketball team gone.
Yeah.
And I probably around the same time when the Chargers left them, I heard them. What the hell's going on? And then the Chargers left, and then the Padres. I mean, yeah, the Padres are. I mean, I love going. I go see games all the time with my
Yeah.
family, and I'm not a sports guy like I keep saying, but um, there's a lot of energy. Like the energy is great when you go
Yeah.
to an actual live game. I love it. I love the feeling. Like growing up, my cousins are Dodgers fans, huge
Mhm.
Dodgers fans, and I grew up in Bakersfield, and
Yeah.
the closest stadium was Dodger Stadium, and we'd go there all the time. And we'd watch games all the time growing up, and it was cool. But man, Petco Park is I love that stadium. I love how you
Mhm.
can mainly like you can go get like any kind of beer, different kinds of beers,
Hell yeah.
and then like the food you got pizza port, you got Hodads, you got like every like San Diego staple.
Phil's, dude,
Bill's
it's
barbecue.
phenomenal.
That's one thing I love about Petco Park. It's just there's so much options, and it's just such a good feeling being there. I love it.
They did that on purpose, man. I think they went went into it thinking like, well, this team's kind of shitty, so let's give them something to like keep them here, right?
Right, make it a little
Good
better for everybody,
good food, good beer and
so they
shit.
don't have to
So
be mad all the time. They're mad while they're watching their teams. They can come and eat good food. Yeah, but no, yeah, I love it there. I love it. And you said you never went to you never went to the Charger Stadium. You never went saw a game there?
I saw one game growing up because like I mean, like you said earlier, good thing we're poor. When that when you're poor, those kind of things don't really like uh they're not in the budget, I guess you could say. I got them for free. My buddy's uncle or something works for a company. They got it. It happened to be one of the games, I think 2012. The Broncos needed to lose 6 games in a row for the Chargers to, and then the Chargers needed to win all 6. Ended up being the last game of the season. Uh, and winner went to the playoffs against the Broncos and went to that game, and we pummeled the Broncos. So it was phenomenal. Even though I was up in the bleacher seats and stuff, all the not bleacher, the nosebleeds.
Nosebleeds.
Yeah, I was obviously drunk, and I was with my buddy. We were scoring touchdowns. It was great, and back in the Phillip River era, kind of near the end of LT's years. So he wasn't as good as he was before, but still like to see them on the field was still kind of cool. So I got to see them, but and I've had, plenty of other experiences at Qualcomm, and RIP Qualcomm, or whatever you want to call it, John Murphy.
Yeah.
But that's, yeah, Jack Murphy. They that stadium that they're building for the Aztecs, not only have they done like work, like they finished it, it's already like at least the skeleton part of it is up and it's starting to like take form, but it looks pretty good, man.
Oh yeah, I forgot the Aztecs are really good. Supposedly, I heard they're
Hmm.
really good, but they're college.
Hmm.
I mean, but
Yeah,
I hear that
still.
all the time. They're really good. I always
Mhm.
hear people talk about how I think one season, I think it was last season, they were undefeated, almost undefeated.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So they're doing good as well. So like they have that stadium as well, and it's
Where's
gonna
that
be
at?
dope. The same spot they tore down Qualcomm.
Oh, they're putting it in the same spot.
Yeah,
Dope.
so they pitched the 2 ideas. One of them was for soccer. It was like Soccer City or something like that, and they were gonna like destroy it and turn it into a soccer stadium. Have a lot open for if they wanted to build an NFL stadium. Obviously I love football, but soccer is like one of my top sports.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That's
Uh,
crazy. I didn't know that. I thought
by
it
the
was
way,
football.
football is I love it. I'm wearing a soccer
Okay.
jersey right now.
What is it? I can't see it.
Bayern Munich. It's a German
German?
German team. Yeah. Shout out Bayern Munich.
Shout out.
Uh, they obviously didn't pass because this is a football and baseball city. no one's like, oh, dude, nobody watches soccer or whatever. So
think
that
it's just
didn't pass.
I think it's just the States, man. A lot
Yeah.
of people talk shit about soccer here. My wife she was born in Mexico. She's
hmm
a big Mexico fan. She
hmm
loves Mexico. We
Man.
go when Jack Murphy or whatever you want to call it
Yeah.
was up. We would mainly go there. I saw one Chargers game maybe like 10 years ago, a long time
Yeah.
ago. They played the Raiders and it was raining the whole time. It was a crazy game. But my wife, we would go there all the time to see Mexico play, like Mexico
hmm
play other teams, and that was fun. My wife loved it, loves soccer.
Yeah. I mean, I could rant about soccer forever. I saw them play the US in Pasadena. It was like one game and then they go to like the Confederations Cup or something like that. That was, and that's a heated rivalry, not just because like politically, but like they're in the same division.
Who?
And
America and who?
the US and Mexico.
Oh, okay, okay.
So politically, obviously they have their rivalry, and then it kind of always meshes in with that. And that game was, I couldn't have scripted it any better. Like I think the US scored first, Mexico scored, US scored, Mexico scored,
Oh, what?
and then Mexico ended up scoring like in like the stoppage time, dude. It was fucking crazy.
What was the score? Like 3-2?
Yeah, 3-2. Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
it was insane, dude.
That
Like
sounds
just
like an intense game.
um in Pasadena, like the Rose Bowl, like it was sold out, dude. It was loud as hell. It was so fun, man. I was drunk, but I remember that one. That was fun. But yeah, soccer. I thought they were going to build that soccer stadium, and they were going to bring like an MLS expansion team here. Blah blah blah. Ended up not working out, so they pitched a San Diego SDSU West expansion thing, which included the stadium that they're building now, and that passed. So they're going to have dormitories. I believe they're going to have they already have a trolley stop there, so they're going to reconstruct it, and then it's going to be for I think either science or something else. So they're going to have like brand new like state of the art stuff there too. So
they're going to have like dorm rooms and classes there and a stadium.
Yeah.
That's intense.
And I think like shops and stuff too, like food and whatnot.
What are they going to do with the old one? Do they keep it or are they going to demolish that?
Qualcomm?
And the one at San Diego State. Just keep it?
Probably for like other sporting events and stuff like that. I'm not sure they didn't mention it, but that state. Well, actually, you know what? They actually used Qualcomm. I forgot.
Okay, because I've seen I mean, I've seen concerts at the SDSU stadium, and that's what I heard that the Aztecs played normally.
Yeah. The basketball team plays in that stadium, and then Qualcomm was used for SDSU football team, but it was never sold out. So it like the cameras always angled it to where it looked like it was full, but they never sold out. So this stadium's, I think max is 30,000 or 40,000, and they can expand it as the years progress if like they start getting more popular and stuff. But it's going to be completely sold out every time now.
What was the seating before with the Jack Murphy?
Jack Murphy, I think max capacity was like 64 or like 70,000, somewhere around there, and I think this one's like 40, but with ability to hit like 70 or something if you want to expand. And it's built like a soccer stadium, so the atmosphere stays close, so it sounds loud as shit.
And when's this projected to be ready?
I think they want it ready by spring.
This spring? Oh shit!
I think so. Yeah, if I remember reading that correctly.
I haven't seen shit. I remember seeing when they demolished it, the original stadium, but I didn't know they were building anything else. And I don't think I've driven past there in a while. I don't know if I've seen.
Yeah, I live in I live in Tierra Santa, so I get to see, like, if I have to go, I can go down the 52, but if I want to hit the 8 or like go downtown,
right,
I pass that area every time. So
right, you're right there. That's even be great for you. You're right there now.
Yeah, we'll see when during the football games how loud it is, because I can hear like Sierra High School or whatever it's called now, Golden Canyon High School.
Sarah.
Yeah, Sarah. Yeah, I can hear their football game. Well, right now, but like during the football season, I could hear it. Like if I'm walking my dog at night, I can hear them.
Oh wow,
it's pretty loud for a high school.
Right. I heard that high school supposedly it's really good when it comes to all that stuff. Like I heard a lot of people come from there. Do you know who? Do you remember Ryan Matthews?
Mm-hmm.
I went to high school with him. He went to my
Oh,
high
you
school.
did?
He went to my high school in Bakersfield.
Oh shit.
He's from the same. He was a freshman when I was a senior, so I never knew him. But I remember he was like a big deal. And then when he went to Fresno State, and I knew of him because of that, and also Joey Porter.
Uh-huh.
You know who Joey Porter is?
The rapper?
No, he was an old NFL. I forget who he played for. Joey Porter. I forget who he played for, but he was like back. I was like probably in elementary school or like junior high. So this was like the '90s, the late '90s.
Yeah.
He was like this shit, and we all like when you go to when you see like a Ferrari in town, like driving down the street,
it was him?
you knew it was Joey Porter. Yeah. He was, I forget who he played for, but yeah, he was like this shit back in the day. He was popular, very popular. We'd hear him all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I went to El Capitan, so we had a couple guys that went to the NFL, but they weren't like prominent. They like Ryan Matthews by far would be the most famous or like impactful, I guess. Because like these guys, one was his name was Ryan Lindley. He was pretty like I played. I was a freshman. He was a sophomore, and then I played my senior year. I didn't get to play because I didn't play junior year with him, but he ended up getting. I don't remember where. I think he got drafted by the Cardinals, and he had like one playoff game, I believe. But I don't think he plays anymore.
Okay.
But that's about it. There's other guys that played like special teams and stuff like that, but no one that's probably like the biggest name, I think, if I remember correctly.
It's crazy, huh? It's crazy how you brush shoulders with these people and they're like all over.
I know. You never think. It's crazy too, because like you get like first round draft picks like that where they're a flash. Like Tom Brady got drafted in like the 6th round. So like he wasn't even like one of those guys that you picture to be like a generational talent or like even multi-generational.
Right.
Or I mean, you know, all the old heads are going to give me shit for this, but he's definitely the greatest to play it like that position by far. Like he has the rings to show for it. He has the talent. He's still playing and he's done it on 2 different teams with 2 different coaches. So he's proven time and time again never to doubt him. And you see him play. I saw him play last Sunday. Still to this day, still looking like he's having fun and doesn't look like he wants to quit anyways.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's crazy. I didn't know that. He was a 6th round draft pick.
Yeah. Didn't like if you look at his body on draft day, like they do like pictures and side by side or whatever. Didn't look like he was going to be who he is now.
I forgot who it was in the break room. I was dying laughing. I think maybe it was you. Was telling me about how Tom Brady doesn't eat bread.
No, that wasn't me.
Okay,
that's funny.
No, I guess it's he did an interview where he talks about he doesn't eat bread, and they're asking like how he stays in shape, or I don't know how he stays young looking because he looks young. And I think it was. Don't quote me on this because this is like might be wrong completely. But he said something like, "I don't eat bread," but people were showing me. I guess he was like a spokesperson for Subway for the longest time.
Oh yeah.
So they're like, what the fuck is he talking? He just a fucking, you know, like fake, just fake, you know, faking for the sponsors.
Yeah, he's trying to sell shit.
Yeah, he's selling shit he doesn't use. That's hilarious, bro. I was dying laughing.
I'm sure that happens more often than not.
Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah, it does. Oh fuck. If a sponsor tried to sponsor this podcast, like if you ever see like the Rogan Experience?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he in the beginning he was advertising fleshlights. Remember that?
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's like I would do the same shit if they came to me. I'm like, oh yeah, guys, check out.
Might as well, dude.
Yeah, fuck it.
Like some of the UFC fighters are drinking like energy drinks, but one of the guys was actually on the Rogan podcast and explained that like they're empty. And they just kind of do it just to show, like sometimes they'll shove it in their face too, like, hey, drink this, like, or like pretend like you're drinking it because like that's one of our main sponsors. So
oh shit.
Yeah, so like you have to make it look like you put the hat on and all that stuff and showcase, right?
Fuck.
With the cameras.
Well, one of the things, like, do you have any people trying to hit you up as sponsors?
No, man, we haven't hit that yet. There's affiliate sponsors that like you can do, like I think it was Instacart and Buzzsprout and stuff like that, because like we do Buzzsprout, but you have to pitch that and you have to show them your analytics and you have to get approved. There's also Podcorn, I think that's what it's called. I would look into that. Basically they take your analytics from your episodes and stuff, and then they give you opportunities to like also pitch something so that they can look at your analytics, and from that they can decide whether they want to give you like a code or whatever. And then if a certain amount of people sign up, you get like a percentage, or I don't know exactly how that works out, but nothing yet.
Yeah, the only thing because I use Anchor to distribute my podcasts. They put it on everything. But they have a thing going on with if to advertise Anchor, their own, and it's podcast basically. And it's like I stopped doing it because it was like I'm not trying to get people to like subscribe to do their own podcast. I mean, I'm sure if you want to do it, you do it, but I'm not trying to like push people to like. I think it's a weird sponsor. It's a weird thing to try to promote is podcasts. Like I just think it's
as you're podcasting,
right? like I just think it's like, yeah, because I did it for a while, and you get a cent per view, and after 15, you get $15 after those cents equal. So basically, it's like 15,000 views.
Oh shit!
Then you get I get paid for it, and I stopped at like $1.80. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. It seems stupid. But I don't know. Maybe I'll get back into it. But even then, like with these video ones, I can't. Like it won't let. There's no option to do it. So I'm like, okay, then what's the point? Because they're telling me now, Anchor's telling me we can, like, I can put these videos on their platform, and they'll put it out on wherever videos are allowed, like Spotify. Like you've seen, like on Spotify, there's a video.
Yeah, they have the option. Yeah.
So it's like it's all weird. I don't know. That's why I'm just doing this to basically try to. I'm just gonna keep doing it like this.
It's nice, dude. Because like maybe we should switch to that, because we've been doing Zencaster. We got that one from Adrian Zimmerman or Zimmer.
No. Yeah.
The guy that does carts, or opens carts. He had a podcast for a while. I think he stopped doing it. But he's the one that said we went out to him and asked him for a lot of advice, because like we had no idea what we were doing, and it's kind of like what he did. Zencaster, they have a free option and they also have a video option, but we use that as our recording, our audio, and then we just download both of those and we just kind of shoot it from to Buzzsprout, which does the mastering for us. So it's like
I need to do that,
because like I'm not really big, like I said, with audio. So like I tried to master it myself one time, like the first 2 or 3 episodes. It's too painstaking for me. And I don't know if they have someone that does it for us, or if it just kind of like runs through some machine or some type of software program that just automatically like makes all the levels the same, but it does it for us. And I mean, I think it's like $15 a month, something like that. And to me, that's like, I don't really drink beer anymore or anything, so that's like where my beer money goes now.
It's a good way to look at it. I try to do the same thing where I cut low on, I cut back on this, and then I invest in this. That's what I've been doing with the mic and stuff. Like I've been doing, like I got a good mic.
Is that the Shure? Shure M? Yeah, dude,
the one everyone fucking uses.
Dude, that thing is nice, man. I'm
right,
jealous.
Trying to get. Hey, man, it's only $300. I mean, only. I mean, it sounds bad, but it's worth it, man. It's completely worth it, because I don't know if you saw. The Eric one, and then I did another one with my friend Ryan. We talk about cryptocurrency. We do the setup where we're sitting on the couch, and he has his mic, I have my mic, and I always give them this mic because it's better, and I want everyone to hear them better than me.
Yeah.
And I have this cheap ass mic that my wife had got with this one of those those little Bluetooth speakers you get like at Costco. It came with that, so I had that, and if you listen to it, you can completely hear the difference. When he's talking to when I'm talking. Like my mic sounds like shit, and his mic sounds this mic sounds really good. So I'm really I got to do this. And then also I want to get a better camera. And not even a better camera. It's it's expensive, but it's the like the Canon Rebel. I'm talking about, like those really great video. And if you just get I have you just get out yourself a fucking tripod and just set it on there, and man, you got yourself a good setup already, just with like that couple $100 invested. Yeah,
We used to sell that at Costco.
right. Yep, that's right. And that's your jam, huh? That's your area.
Mm-hmm.
It's your spot.
We used to sell yeah. And we still get people coming in and asking us, "You guys don't have like DSLR cameras?"
Yeah,
And we haven't had those in years. I don't know what. I
I
don't
didn't know
know.
that.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's. I was gonna say I don't know if it's because they just didn't sell too long. Because like when I was there, they had the Rebel. I think the T300. I'm not sure what the names are anymore, but and we had like 7 for like 2 years. So like they didn't sell too well. Like people would buy them and then just return them. So maybe they just said, you know what, it's just taking like pallet space or whatever. You know,
Right.
Costco, dude. They try to.
Well, just like the fucking the photo department, probably the same thing. Like you just do, you
Mhm.
can just get it online now. Just go online and get your Canon Rebel.
Yeah, no, literally.
Yeah, and yeah, but that's something that I need to look into because when I was in doing when I was at San Diego City, that's what we would use to shoot all our videos was the
Mhm.
Canon Rebels. And like there's so many great things you could do with them. Like even like if we're doing podcast setup, easy, you put on a tripod. But it's one of those things we would do where we had a stabilizer. You know what a stabilizer is?
Where it doesn't like you put it on there and it doesn't
Yeah.
show like the
So like it has
movements or whatever.
handlebars,
Yeah.
and like I can do this and the camera's just gonna stay still.
Mm-hmm.
But like you'd get someone, you put them on a skateboard, like and like let's say you're the camera guy and you're holding it steady, and then you're on the skateboard and I'm holding your hips and I'm just like pulling you
That's awesome.
down the road, and we're filming like someone in a car, someone's driving in a car, or just whatever. And then like you can use like we had a guy who had drones. We would use do drone shots, and then
Yeah.
I put all that in. So it was all these different the Canon Rebels are there's all these things you can buy to make them even more like just
Mhm.
enhanced. Like and then all like the ones at Costco had all those I mean, I know the ones at Costco would sell like the bundles with the extra lenses, and you could buy those lenses, all different kinds of lenses, and just snap them on. Like fish, the fisheye lens, and all different types.
Yeah.
So yeah, those cameras are very versatile. Yeah. So I did get one of those eventually, but mainly the mic first because man,
Mhm.
when I do these sit down interviews, which I plan to do more, especially when everything cools out with this pandemic, like invite you over, just like come on,
Yeah.
just come over and sit down face to face. It'd be easier, just to.
It's a whole different.
It's different, definitely different. It's a lot different and a lot more, and then hopefully down the line, just invest in more mics and in more hookups, so where you can just like have a couple people on, like you
Mhm.
and Michael, just boom, let's just get into it, boom. All of us have our own little setup and just talk and figure it out, man. Because I'm telling you, this is like that's something that the pandemic did for me. Was gave me this push to do this because I
Mhm.
was like, I've had all these episodes, like the first 10 episodes on my podcast. I've had those for like a year. I started that like in the first summer of the pandemic, summer of 2020. I started doing these, and then I didn't know really what to do, but it wasn't until like I'd put them out slowly, and they were just the videos. But then now that I have my music, that's when
Mhm.
it gave me the push to like, all right, I'm just gonna put them out. So I put them, and then once I put them out, I ended up learning, like when I started talking to you about this, how to master, or how to I can't call it master because it's not complete. Like I'm like you, like I don't know what I'm doing yet. There's some episodes where it's like, fuck, what the fuck was I thinking? But I'm trying to like fucking make the audio as mixed as straight as possible.
Yeah.
And so I went back and I started to go to mix certain ones. And that's what I'm trying to do with that because it's a learning process. It's all a learning process.
Yeah, but hey, man, stick to it, dude, because you got something going, dude. And then maybe expand, because I had thought about like maybe getting interviews and stuff going and stuff like that, but like I know, like you said, it's really hard. But it's just like a balance of like, do I want to be sports and then maybe have like a day where we have like random interviews, just like bigger picture kind of stuff. I've thought about even doing like a Friday night fight night or something like that, and trying to do like because talking about like MMA and boxing and stuff, because I actually do like it. And Mike's kind of into it, but he's said he's not really like super into it. And I would love to talk about boxing or MMA, maybe with people, or just like sitting around watching a fight and drinking beer and just bullshit and talking about it or whatever. Just random ideas. Obviously end goal would be to have like a studio, storage unit, whatever the case is, even if like it was a freaking granny flat somewhere, right? To like have a place to go to for the podcast, like you're talking about. Because I mean, I like the this kind of stuff, but like you said, it's different in person, and you can actually have like little figurines on the thing and like posters, and then it starts looking like more official. Not saying that this is not official, or ours is not official, but you know, once you get that all set up, it's like, oh damn, they actually have like a studio now. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be really great. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, it's more of an intimate setting instead of like, because that's another thing too, is like inviting people over. It's fine, but at the same time, it's like, you know, I don't have the room for it, and it's like kind of embarrassing. And it'd be nice to have like your own setup, just where it's just like, you know, just do it. That's cool. Yeah, that's a really good idea. Hopefully that happens for us. We get that to that point, because just keep on going, man. Keep doing it.
Yeah, we'll get there, dude. It's gonna manifest it. You know what I mean?
Right.
We just stay consistent. Like you're saying, you have a bunch set up, recorded, and just keep on releasing. Everything I've read about it is consistency. Don't look at don't look at your stats and stuff like that. That comes later. But just to stay consistent, and maybe we can just like motivate each other to keep on keeping on. You know what I mean?
Definitely. We should probably wrap this up. I got to get out of here soon.
Oh, for sure.
Sorry, man.
No, dude. No need to apologize. I got my podcast to record in a little bit too. So.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. You got your thing. But definitely we got to figure something out to do these more often, because I would like to do these more with you and figure out, you know, a kind of like a routine kind of thing, because it'd be really cool to keep talking about this. Because I'm now that we've talked about some of the stuff we've talked about, I think I want to put this out like real soon, because like especially the Cowboys thing, because sometimes I sit on these and it's like they're not relevant anymore. Like we talk about current events, and then it's like I have it like for 2 months. Like there's one I recorded in the summer. We talk about, oh, it's summertime. At least in December. I was in December. And I didn't realize, so I put it out. I was like, dude, that's fucking lame. We're talking about the summer, because it was a girl I grew up with, and she used to be my supervisor at my old job, and she was like, oh yeah, because she's a teacher now. She's like, oh, I'm on summer break, you know. And I was like, oh cool. And then I'm listening to it going, what the fuck? I should just release that then. I don't know what I was thinking. It just, so yeah, like if I release this later on, they'll be like, what the fuck are they talking about? The Cowboys lost? Like what? Who cares? The Cowboys lost. Like they, you know,
the Super Bowl's today. What the heck, man?
Yeah, right. Yeah. So. I'm gonna need to put this out soon, just to keep it fresh.
So, yeah, man.
All right, man. It was great. I'll see you. I go back Thursday. I'll see you.
I'm off Thursday, but I'll definitely see you, brother.
I'll see you, man. All right. This was great. I appreciate you.
Yeah. Peace,
bro.